Hey guys, it's the week 3 recap. There were some pretty big headlines coming out of the NFL, but also even bigger ones coming out of VFL this week. So let's discuss. So Daniel Jones comes in and just wreaks havoc on the Buccaneers. All this, poo-pooing of Daniel Jones coming out of the draft, and now here he is. I think the stat that I saw was he had the second highest rookie debut fantasy points in history. So that's exciting. I know there's plenty of teams out there that need a quarterback. So take a look at the waiver wires for him. But then in VFL, so a couple things happened. Mark Hoskins is proving to us that he is a man to be reckoned with, scoring 175 points. At one point I looked over and he had 190 something points. But, the Chicago defense is only so good. They only got him 30 instead of the 45 that he was at earlier in the game. And, I mean, how do you compete with a guy who has, 4 players scoring over 30 points? That's impossible. I mean, poor Anthony had a perfect lineup, partly because his entire bench scored 0 points, but the guy didn't even come anywhere close. So that was brutal, man. So Mark Hoskins, the only 3-0 team, has the highest points for total. He scored, I think, over 140 points every single week so far, which is just nasty. Most people are kind of coming out 2-1, 1-2, so everyone's kind of in it, except for we got 2 teams that are sitting at 0-3. That's not good, looking good for you guys. And then poor Peter had a little technical malfunction. He set his lineup through the Fantasy Pros site instead of setting his lineup through CBS, and that kind of screwed him. So let Peter's mistake be your lesson learned. Set your lineup through CBS. Don't set it through any of the third-party apps or tools that are out there. So, which sucks because, he totally would have won. God, Horn Dogs scored a pitiful 80-something points. I think it was one of the lowest scoring teams this week. But anyway, so a couple things to clarify for you guys. I got a couple of text messages this week about it. The IR slots. So we have 2 IR slots per team. And the player does not need to be injured, does not need to be on IR for you to put them on IR. It was something that we had talked about at draft time and something that we had clarified in an email last week. You can put any player on IR. The caveat is it costs you $3 to put that player on IR, and then it costs you another $3 to take them off. So be aware of that. But you can stash players in your IR slot if you want to do that, which is kind of what Habanos is doing. So just kind of keep that in the back of your minds for doing that. Waiver pickups this week. Make sure you get your bids in tonight. Waiver will process tonight. I think it's 2 a.m. Eastern time, I believe. So make sure you get those picks in. It's nice to see some back to normal in everyone in the league. I feel like at week 3 you kind of get a feel for who people are and what teams are doing and things like that. John Ross came back down to reality, so that was good. Some crazy injuries though, man. God, quarterbacks are falling left and right. Barkley is now out a couple weeks, so definitely excited to see what kind of action is happening on the waiver wire. So good job this week to everyone who won, and to everyone who lost, better luck next week.